The Kutubminar, also spelled Kutubminar and Kutubminar, is a minaret and victory tower comprising the Kutub complex, which lies at the site of Delhi's oldest fortified city, Lal Kot, founded by the Tomar Rajputs. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the Mehrauli area of South Delhi, India. 4.5. It was mostly built between 1199 and 1220, contains 399 steps, and is one of the most frequented heritage spots in the city. Kutubuddin Aibak initiated construction of the Qutub Minar, but only managed to finish the first level. Successors continued the construction, and, in 1368, Firuz Shah Tughlaq rebuilt the top parts and added a cupola. It can be compared to the 62-meter all-brick minaret of Jam in Afghanistan, of circa 1190, which was constructed a decade or so before the probable start of the Delhi Tower. The surfaces of both are elaborately decorated with inscriptions and geometric patterns. The Qutub Minar has a shaft that is fluted with superb stalactite bracketing under the balconies at the top of each stage. In general, minarets were slow to be used in India and are often detached from the main mosque where they exist. In recent years, the Qutub Minar has been illuminated for special occasion involving international relations. In September 2023, the monument was lit up in the colors of the Mexican flag to commemorate Mexico's 213th Independence Day, an event that was acknowledged and appreciated by the Embassy of Mexico in India. Similarly, on 30th October, the Qutub Minar was illuminated with the Turkish flag to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Republic of Turkey, an occasion that received special attention from the Turkish Embassy in New Delhi. Architecture. The tower includes elements of traditional Islamic architecture and Southwestern Asian design. Elizabeth Lambourn's Islam Beyond Empires, Mosques and Islamic Landscapes in India and the Indian Ocean studies the introduction of Islam in South Asia and how the region influenced the Islamic religious architecture. These newly arrived Muslims from the Islamic West escaped the Mongol Empire and emigrated to India, where they constructed religious centers. The Qutub Minar serves as a central marker to these new Muslim communities as well as being a reminder of Islam's presence in the area. 16. The architecture of the minaret varies greatly from that of the typical style and design of the mosques constructed in the Middle East. The style of these structures is influenced by the local architecture such as the Indic temples. This affected the different materials, techniques, and decoration that were used in the construction of the Qutub Minar. Historically, tower minarets were uncommon in South Asian Islamic design until the 17th century, due to the slow adoption of the typical Middle Eastern style in India. It is also detached from the main mosque, showcasing how the native culture affected the design of a Middle Eastern structure. The Qutub Minar is seen as the earliest and best example of a fusion or synthesis of Hindu-Muslim traditions, according to Ved Prakash in his essay The Qutub Minar from Contemporary and Near-Contemporary Sources. Like many mosques built in South Asia during this time period, the minaret was constructed by Hindu laborers and craftsmen but overseen by Muslim architects. This led to a construction that synthesized both Hindu and Islamic religious architecture. Since some of the craftsmen were Hindu and unfamiliar with the Quran, the inscriptions are a compilation of disarranged Quranic texts and other Arabic expressions.
Humayun's tomb is the tomb of Mughal Emperor Mirza Nasir al-Din Muhammad, commonly known as Humayun, situated in Delhi, India. The tomb was commissioned by Humayun's first wife and chief consort, Empress Bega Begum, under her patronage in 1558, and designed by Mirak Mirza Ghias and his son Sayyid Muhammad, Persian architects chosen by her. It was the first garden tomb on the Indian subcontinent and is located in Nizamuddin East, Delhi, close to the Dina Pana citadel, also known as Purana Killa, Old Fort, that Humayun found in 1538. It was also the first structure to use red sandstone at such a scale. The tomb was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1993, and since then has undergone extensive restoration work, which is complete. Besides the main tomb enclosure of Humayun, several smaller monuments dot the pathway leading up to it, from the main entrance in the west, including one that even predates the main tomb itself by 20 years. It is the tomb complex of Isa Khan Niazi, an Afghan noble in Sher Shah Suri's court of the Suri dynasty, who fought against the Mughals, constructed in 1547 CE. The complex encompasses the main tomb of the Emperor Humayun, which houses the graves of Empress Bega Begum, Haji Begum, and also Dara Shikoh, great-great-grandson of Humayun and son of the later Emperor Shah Jahan, as well as numerous other subsequent Mughals, including Emperor Jahandar Shah, Farrukhsiyar, Rafi ul Darjat, Rafi ul Daulat, Muhammad Kambaksh, and Alamgir II. It represented a leap in Mughal architecture, and together with its accomplished Charbagh garden, typical of Persian gardens, but never seen before in India, it set a precedent for subsequent Mughal architecture. It is seen as a clear departure from the fairly modest mausoleum of his father, the first Mughal emperor, Babur, called Baghi Babur, Gardens of Babur, in Kabul, Afghanistan. Though the latter was the first emperor to start the tradition of being buried in a paradise garden. Modeled on Guri Amir, the tomb of his ancestor and Asia's conqueror Timur in Samarkand, it created a precedent for future Mughal architecture of royal mausolea, which reached its zenith with the Taj Mahal at Agra. The site was chosen on the banks of Yamuna River due to its proximity to Nizamuddin Dargah, the mausoleum of the celebrated Sufi saint of Delhi, Nizamuddin Aulia, who was much revered by the rulers of Delhi, and whose residence, Chilla Nizamuddin Aulia, lies just northeast of the tomb. In later Mughal history, the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar, took refuge here during the Indian Rebellion of 1857 along with 3 princes, and was captured by Captain Hodson before being exiled to Rangoon. 921. At the time of the slave dynasty, this land was under the Kilokheri fort, which was capital of Sultan Kakabad, son of Nasiruddin, 1268 to 1287. The tombs of Batashewala complex lie in the buffer zone of the World Heritage Site of the Humayun Tomb Complex. The two complexes are separated by a small road but enclosed within their own separate compound wall.